Again, welcome. We begin with the telecommunication network provider 9mobile. Here's a short history about the company. Emerging Markets Telecommunication Services Limited (EMTS), trading as 9mobile, is a Nigerian private limited liability company licensed by the Nigerian Communications Commission to provide a broad range of telecommunication services, including voice and data services across the country. Formerly trading at Etisalat, Nigeria, 9mobile commenced commercial operations in October 2008. In its over 12 years of operations, 9mobile has been at the forefront of technological innovation, including high-definition voice enhancement and digital business solutions. In 2017, it became the first mobile network operator in Nigeria to get an ISO environmental certification. 9mobile is renowned as the most innovative, youth-friendly and customer-focused network in Nigeria. Let's hear more from the CEO of 9mobile, Sinfield. You're the first appointed CEO since the company changed name and management back in 2017. And at that time, you said you would lead the company through a phase you labeled the most exciting journey. Tell me, how exciting has that journey been for you so far?
Been a very exciting time, frankly. When you consider I was hired at the height of the pandemic, at the height of the lockdown, I joined at the beginning of June this year, and when I was working with the team, I spent the first 2 months working remotely. So what was quite exciting was actually arriving and meeting people in person after in the end, it was close to 3 months of working online with them and seeing them on video sessions, but not actually meeting in person. So that was good. Different, very different, but coming to a new country is always different, always exciting. I've worked in quite a few countries and continents, so coming back to Africa, because I haven't been working in Africa for a few years, so it was good to come back. But I guess the most exciting things for me about joining were twofold, really. One was the people. I'd heard a lot about Nigeria and Nigerian people, and I was pleasantly surprised, or not, maybe surprised is the wrong word. What I discovered was that the people here were very passionate, very intelligent, very well educated, lots of good ideas, lots of good strategies, and I thought I was going to be arriving with all these wonderful plans and ideas, only to find that most people here already had them. So my job was more about galvanizing and focusing our attention. And I guess the other thing that's so exciting for me about Nigeria is just the sheer scale of the country, the size, and the incredible opportunities really that are here. There's a huge opportunity in mobile, fintech, and other sectors for growth. So that's what really kind of inspires me the most, and that's why I labeled it such an exciting journey, because there's just so much to do yet.
9mobile must have a roadmap, or at least a guide through which it implements its corporate social initiatives. What are those pillars that help you drive your CSR?
We currently have 3 pillars that we focus on. We focus on education, health, and environment. In terms of education, we've done a lot of things around programs like Adopt a School and things like this, where we're doing initiatives to help improve facilities at schools and so on. We have recently embarked on a much bigger piece of work around digital literacy and digital learning, e-learning. On the health side of things as well, our main focus of recent years has been around helping to do what we can to alleviate the impacts of malaria in the country. And on environment, we see ourselves as part of the world, not just as part of Nigeria. So we all have to do something to help the environment. So we do a lot of things around green initiatives. Those are the main areas that we look on currently in terms of CSR, but we're always looking for other ways in which we can help and do more and give back.
9mobile's flagship CSR program on education started in 2013. Walk us through what this program is about and other initiatives targeted at improving education in Nigeria.
The program was started at a time when telecommunications arguably was a little bit in its infancy here. When this company was started, what the management observed was that there was to a certain degree, a lack of skills in certain engineering functions. So the program was put in place to address that specifically. And what they did was they focused on some of the brightest pupils that had completed their graduate BAs, and they looked to see how could they enroll them in a master's program and even PhD programs in telecommunications and engineering. So this was done by working with local universities, international universities, and also by bringing in specialist speakers, specialist engineers, and subject matter experts in various fields to train the students that were then put through their master's program by 9mobile. The program was very successful. It ended with over 30 students achieving master's certificates, Masters of Science, and the brightest of those 30 were given an opportunity to basically be sponsored by us to go to a university in the UK, and we had 4 PhD students come back from that as well. That finished in 2019, so we're now embarking on our next phase of what do we do more now to help with Nigeria with improving education. Telecoms has moved on a long way since those early days, so there's less of a need to focus just purely on engineering anymore. For us now, it's much more around digital, so digital literacy and e-learning and transformation programs. So we've dropped it from being a postgraduate focus, and we're looking at all levels of the Nigerian curriculum and age groups.
Now, we all know the challenges in the health sector in Nigeria. Is 9mobile doing anything to help drive a better health system in the country?
Yes, we are. We've been doing a lot of things for a number of years, in fact. I mentioned earlier on about malaria, that we've had a lot of programs around malaria and supporting Nigerian communities with things like nets, pesticides, and also malaria tablets, drugs, etc., to help ward off from the potential for malaria. We all know that's such a big issue here, especially in children. So we've done that for a number of years. Now, of recent years, our focus has started to change. What we're now looking at is now that communications is growing and there's much more penetration in the market here and digital literacy is growing, we're looking at how can we do a better job of bringing health facilities to rural communities and things like this. So what we've been looking at there is we've recently partnered with a company called Mobi Health, and what they provide is online consultations for people. This has been introduced specifically for COVID, but it's not limited to COVID. So it was brought in so that if people had symptoms and concerns about their health, they could do an online video discussion with a qualified doctor who would actually be able to give them obviously guidance on what to do given their symptoms.
And how is 9mobile using its platform to help fight the COVID-19 pandemic?
What we did to help support that is the Nigerian Centre for Disease Control. We worked with them to provide them with 600 lines, SIM cards, free, along with access to mobile broadband data, so that when they're in the field doing their research, they can stay connected and also can use their apps, etc., to communicate the results of what they're finding. So that was a big assist for them. We also made sure that it was a big help for the community by we zero rated, so any customer on our network that wanted to find out information about COVID through the Nigerian Centre for Disease Control or through the World Health Organization, that was free of charge, that they could access those facilities to get health information. We zero rated dozens and dozens of different education websites so that people could access those for learning materials, do homeschooling, obviously without charge.
No country can truly flourish if it stifles the potential of its women. What is 9mobile doing to make sure women are self-dependent or giving them the opportunity to fly?
Specifically on women, one of the things that's been a very recent initiative of ours is there's an organisation that's been working in Nigeria for a while now, which is the Sherry Blair Foundation for Women. So as of the beginning of November, we signed a partnering agreement with them. The Sherry Blair Foundation has an app which is called Her Venture, and what that does is it looks to provide women entrepreneurs from all levels of the, as they call it, the pyramid, from the base up, gives them an opportunity that anyone that has an idea and wants to try to grow, run a business and improve themselves, that they have access to a platform that will support them with learning materials that will teach them how to become entrepreneurs and business people and things like this. But the other thing that we're doing for the entrepreneurs, the lady entrepreneurs that join the program, through the Payment Service Bank, we have access and potential to be able to provide small loans.
And are there opportunities for youths as well?
100%, yeah, 100%. In terms of youths, we've been looking at, again, how can we help with digital literacy primarily? So there's a lot of people that maybe don't go as far in schooling as they could. We have 3 programs, I believe, currently underway now with some universities in the north of the country. So the people that show the best potential from those learning programs, we're looking at how do we bring them in to give them work experience programs as well.
You've worked in the banking sector in London and even outside London before delving into the telecoms sector. Now, with the new 9PSB, which is your agency banking platform, what is 9mobile hoping to achieve?
What we're hoping to achieve is basically to support the CBN and the government with their initiatives around financial inclusion. PSB is an agency bank, and what that means is rather than just being a bank like a traditional high street bank that just has branches in major metro areas and things like this, what the PSB is, it gives us an opportunity to have the same thing. We have branches in Lagos, we're opening in Abuja and Kano and other locations. But it also then, the model is to work on the basis of agency banking, which is effectively anybody that has a small shop, a small retail presence, anywhere within the country, that they can become an agent for the Payment Service Bank. What we're really hoping to achieve is Nigeria has an addressable market, if I can call it that, of around 100 million people of the right age to have a bank account. But the reality is it's only in the mid 40 million that have a bank account. So there's a potential for 55 to 60 million people that currently don't have access to financial services. And what we're hoping to do is to address that.
You have worked in telecommunications, fintech, and other sectors in over 50 countries around the world. You must be a traveler. But anyway, do you think the Nigerian government is giving the much needed support to telecom operators in the country?
Yeah, I think the Nigerian government has a good outlook. And by the way, when you mention that many countries, it makes me sound like I'm 100 years old. So I think let's skip on quickly and we'll talk about the government. The Minister for Digital Economy here and also the EVC for the Nigerian Communications Commission, they have a very difficult job, let's be frank. You know, they have to balance protecting the consumers and doing the best that they can for the consumers while also making sure that there's a fair, competitive environment that's well regulated. Commending the Minister, a lot of the work that he's been doing around the broadband plan and removing rights of way costs and things like this, those are very well received because it was becoming cost prohibitive to roll out fibre. There are some impediments, obviously, though, still. I will add that to doing business in Nigeria. There's a lot of complexity around taxation. You know, in many cases, you have federal, state, local government. You know, we get hit with 3 to 4 taxes for the same thing in all these different environments. The levels of regulation. Spectrum is a scarce resource, and there needs to be some work done to reclaim spectrum that's been issued and licensed but not being used. So we would like to see that happening. We would also like to see a little bit more happening around planning for the future around new network technologies. So things like active network sharing. Myself and the other 3 main telcos, you know, why would we all want to build sites in the same places? You often see it, 3, 4 towers all closely located. If we can change that and actually then share resources, a lot of work has been done already around tower sharing, which is one very good initiative, but the next thing is around active infrastructure sharing. So rather than me and the others all building networks in the same place, maybe I build it here, they build it there, and then we share. And that works the same with fibre and fibre rollouts as well. As I said, the government has a difficult juggling job to do, really, in managing all of that. There's more to do, but yeah, they should be commended for everything they've achieved so far.